Hey, this is Mikael from Dark Tranquility, and you're watching Loud TV. It's been really incredible. We started touring the day of the release, and it was just awesome. We started off playing 6 or 7 songs from the album immediately on the first tour, and people really got into it. And we figured, if we can get away with that, that means we've done something right, you know. And then we're playing different songs from the new album every night, and seems like it's working. People are really responding well to the material, and it's been selling great. And we couldn't be happier with the response. Actually, it's been just incredible. I feel great, and I think this last year and a half, of touring for this album, last year rather, have been amazing. With some new guys in the band, with a new level of production and the way that we feel, I think, we're stronger and better than ever. And the audience that constantly builds, and the amount of fun we have, I think, we're going to keep doing this for a very long time. That's what it feels like right now. He decided that he needs to be home with his family, taking care of his kid, and he's never really been that much for touring. So I think he's kind of happy that he can oversee everything, make all the designs and all that stuff for everything, and just do what he prefers to do, which is stay home and just be that creative person, and write and draw and kind of thing, and don't have to carry on, around the world. So I think it's, even though I miss him every day, I think it's a good thing for everyone. And now that Johan Reinholds joined, and then Chris Amott, and they are just incredible, incredible musicians with a ton of experience, with so many other styles of music, and that we never had. So, because we started out as kids, when we were 14, we never played with anyone else. We never played in any other band or anything like that. So having someone who has that kind of a different level of professionalism and musicianship has really made us kind of step up and become better as well. We realized that we have to really, really, really push it, to get up to the level of these guys. And it's made the band very much stronger and better, I think.
So Niklas won't tour anymore?
I don't know, when he's ready, when he's okay with it, but that's totally up to him. When he wants to come back, he can do that.
Chris Amott, we don't know if he will participate to the new albums or just guest.
We haven't started thinking about that just yet, but the way we feel, I hope that he will be with us, for a very long time, because he's fantastic. I don't know, I like to, sometimes it's just conveying an emotion, something that you feel strongly about or something that you've thought about. And then you can go poetic, you can kind of come up with a fancy way of telling how you feel and how you, who you are as a person. But at the same time, I want to be kind of clear, and I've kind of steered towards more straightforward lyrics, and I don't want to be as, I don't know, it shouldn't be difficult to understand, I want it to be kind of clear what I'm actually talking about and what I want to say, because the expression of extreme metal is such that you want it to be kind of direct, you want it to be in your face, you want it to feel it and hear it. So when you hear someone screaming, you should realize where it's coming from. You should understand why there is so much screaming and shouting on an album, you know. So I wanted to convey that as well. So the lyrics are angrier now, I think, just because I'm getting older and sick of the way the world works and how we interact with each other and how people work, kind of thing. So seeing things from a different perspective as like a proper adult now makes me even angrier than when I was a kid. I was just angry at everything back then. Now I'm angry at very specific things, maybe. So it's different for me. I think in the beginning of the band it was more about conveying an emotion, whereas now it's conveying like a specific frustration. I'm okay with things moving forward, but not in a bad way, so to speak. I think we put so much emphasis on how we feel and how I don't know, like people are easily offended, and we are worrying about borders and boundaries and shit not broken, and we fail to see the big picture, and that's really frustrating, and it causes a lot of problems, I think. And I think the narrow-mindedness and like this kind of obsession with your own kind of like who you are and who you should be and what you should be allowed to do, and no one should interfere with that, is, I don't know, it's getting the better of us, and we let that kind of rule who we are, and I don't think it's a positive thing always, Yeah, of course. Like especially when we pick up older songs that we haven't played in a couple of years. Then of course, we have to. Like I pick up the lyrics and go like, all right. Usually, if we played it many times, it's kind of in your muscle memory, so to speak. So it's there. But of course, and I do screw it up sometimes, especially with the older songs. So there are a few songs on this tour where I have to really think about it. So, that's right, because we haven't played it maybe in 6 or 7 or 8 to 10 years or something. And of course, sometimes I totally blank out, because sometimes you see something in the audience, or you see someone you'd recognize, or something happens that kind of breaks your concentration a little bit. So that happens, and sometimes I don't know, because I really try to be super focused when on stage, but sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you're just tired, and the mind doesn't work as it should be. Maybe you didn't have enough sleep, that kind of thing. But most of the time I'm okay. I missed a line or here or two, but there's always someone in the room that goes like, hey, you missed that one, and then I make sure I never make that mistake again. Of course, I realized that, what did I do here? And sometimes when there's actual kind of grammatical mistakes, or when my English wasn't good enough when I wrote it, I kind of get, oh fuck, But at the same time, I like to think of them as time capsules, because they were written at a specific time about a specific topic or a specific feeling that I had then. So, and I always remember when I wrote it and why, so I can kind of think back to then when we played live, and I kind of try to kind of recapture those feelings. But if I can't do that, I'm also kind of satisfied that I don't have those feelings anymore. That anger, that frustration, that pain that I felt, writing that, it's over now, and now I can tap into it and kind of think about it, but at the same time be really comfortable with the fact that that's behind me, and now I'm over it, that kind of thing. So that's why it's really rewarding to sometimes play these old songs, to kind of remind you of who you were, 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, we've done this for many years. So obviously, there's just part of our muscle memory again. But it's yeah. I mean, sure. There's preparation. We want to make sure everything is right, and I think, like, especially the last couple of years, like just in terms of equipment and technology that we have on stage, that makes everything so much easier. Now every night is perfect. Everybody has a perfect sound. Everybody feels comfortable on stage, and you can. So even though we, it's, you know, you sometimes, you know, in America, whatever, or here in Europe, like you play at a shitty little venue, some weird place where the sound is horrible. Like what we bring with us makes sure that we don't have to worry about that at all, and we can stand on stage and everything sounds fantastic. And some nights you can just stand still and just enjoy, you know, everybody's playing and just having a good time, just performing. But at the same time, you know, you want to be part of the crowd and, you know, that stuff. So I think technology has really helped us the last couple of years to make sure that the show is as good as it can possibly be. Like, there are no excuses anymore. I can't go like, oh yeah, my voice was screwed up because the monitors were bad. Now everything is perfect every day. So there are no more excuses. That means you have to step up and just really never miss a note. But the last couple of years, like maybe the last 7 or 8 years or something like that, I've used like warm-up techniques before every show and during the day, just to get it in shape. And I think just like making sure that the sound is always good, so you don't have to like worry about it. If you don't hear yourself, you shouldn't scream louder, that kind of stuff. You just like, so it's all about technique and practice. So yeah, I used to have problems in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like every night I was like, it was like hoarse and I couldn't speak, so I had to be silent for weeks on tour and then just scream and then go back to being silent again, which was horrible, and I really hated it. Like, it was the worst. So I hated touring back then, but now I don't have to worry about it anymore. So it makes me much more, like, feel so much better about on tour. Last drink, holy shit. Actually, it would be, my last drink would be like a beer that I made, because I brewed my own beer at home. So, and some of them I'm getting okay at it, and some of them are really good. So yeah, just like having something that I brewed myself, just pour that in a nice big ice cold glass, sipping it like a fresh IPA or a good Hefeweizen. Yeah, that would be it.
So you made your own beer?
Yes.
Under Dark Tranquility? Or?
No, just personal. But we do have a Dark Tranquility beer as well. Like a
last song that you want to listen to?
One of my favorite songs is "Lover You Should Have Come Over" by Jeff Buckley. So maybe that one. It's one of my favorites. Always makes me sad but happy. So yeah. That would probably be it.
Last movie.
It should be something that lasts forever, like a really long one. No, but something that I can always watch. Maybe something that always kind of fascinates me and triggers my imagination is Blade Runner. So maybe that one.
The new one or the other one?
I love the new one, but it's the original. Yeah.
Last book?
Probably Cormac McCarthy, The Road. It's one of the books that in the last 15 years that I've read the most times. So I'll probably read that again because I love it.
The last person to talk with?
It's equal between my girlfriend and my daughter. Of course.
Last words? Last words?
Last words is like, fuck it.